Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to this brand new video. What I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be talking through my most recent DVD and there's one Blu-ray purchases. So let's call this DVD purchases. I just call it DVD and Blu-ray purchases. Yeah, why not? Then we're covering all bases there. So yeah, so this is my most recent DVD and Blu-ray purchases. Now, I've not really done a video like this before where I've talked through my well, not for a long while since I've gone to the store and done like a pickup video where I pick up a certain movie from the store. So what I'm going to do, I've got some movies here dating back to probably September 2016 that I've bought. Just bought quite a bit and never had kind of chance to make a video on, you know, my thoughts on the movie and stuff like that. So I thought I'd just do one video talking you through all the DVDs and Blu-rays from the last few months. So let's get into it. I've got a nice big pile formed over here, so let's get into our movie. So this first one is Finding Dory. So this is the Finding Dory DVD. I bought this in, I think it was November last year. I love Finding Nemo, the first movie. I saw Finding Dory quite late at the cinema. It came out in July. I didn't see this movie till late August last year. So I was one of the people who were actually a little bit behind with seeing Finding Dory, the movie, once all the fuss had died down. But when I saw this at the cinema, I was really impressed. It's excellent. It's got the charm of the first movie. It's got the emotional parts. You know, the characters are great. You know, it's got Marlin and Nemo and Dory. And you know, I just love watching these guys, and the film is such a joy to look at. It's so colourful, it's so vibrant, and the animation is so good. You know, the details. You know, you've got underwater characters like fish. You've got things like otters and seals, and the bodies and their outer skins. You know, they look really realistic. You know, hair on bodies and things like that. So a very impressive follow-up to Finding Nemo. So let's face it, after Finding Nemo was so good, so many people like that film, it was a little bit of a daunting task to follow up with another movie, but well done Pixar, as they usually do deliver. They delivered on Finding Dory, so that's a great one to have in the collection and a great way to get this video started. The next movie is Warcraft, the Collector's Edition. This is the Warcraft Collector's Edition DVD. The reason it's Collector's Edition, let's find out. So I watched this before Christmas last year and I can't remember what... Aha, here we go. So these are our free gifts. We have a digital download. Oh, and then we have free gifts if you play the Warcraft game. So you have kind of a free gift thing from Blizzard Entertainment. Okay. Oh right, okay, so that's the free gifts. I expected like a toy or something, or maybe some cards, but you know, I suppose if you're into the Warcraft game, that is pretty cool. I hate to say I've never played the Warcraft game, so I didn't have as much knowledge as some people going to watch this movie in June last year at the cinema. Considering that, all things considered, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought this was really good. You know, you've got the orcs fighting against the humans, the orcs trying to wipe out the humans and the humans fighting for survival. But you have some orcs in this movie who oppose the orc leader, so don't agree with you know, going into battle and things like that. And yeah, it's a really interesting film, and the majority of the characters, well, the orc characters anyway, are all I presume they're stop motion, computer generated effects of the stop motion. But when I first saw, you know, one of the main characters in this movie in the opening scene, I thought, goodness me, that looks so realistic. It's amazing what they've done with the effects. And after a while watching this film, you actually forget that these giant orcs are actually not real at all, which is no easy task. You know, that's very impressive, you know, for a film like this. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. And this movie kind of sets up for other movies. I really hope they make another one, personally. I don't understand. This movie did get a lot of kind of mixed reviews. You know, some people were like, amazing. Finally, we have like a really good movie based from a game. Other people, you know, were kind of in between. Other people said it was terrible. I can't agree. I honestly have to agree with people who thought it was great. I thought they really did it well, and it's not easy making movies from games because movies and games are quite different, and I think they did really well. And considering I personally didn't have a lot of Warcraft knowledge before, I really enjoyed this film. And as it's called Warcraft Beginning, it's a good introduction to this new world. And like I say, hopefully we may get another Warcraft movie on the way. That we'll have to wait and see. The next one. This is a Blu-ray. This is Suicide Squad. This is the extended cut. The reason I bought this on Blu-ray, I normally buy DVDs, to be honest. I've got a few Blu-rays. I like Blu-rays, but DVDs I just save that little bit of money buying DVDs. This is the extended cut. Extended cut was only available in the UK on Blu-ray, so I bought the Blu-ray. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's just go out and for the extra few pound and get the extended cut to see what the extended cut's like. It includes, I think it's about 10 minutes of additional footage that was not seen in the cinema version. So yeah, I personally, I've not seen the extended cut yet. I've seen the theatrical version. I saw this movie in the cinema in the summer. I really enjoyed this movie. And looking on the back, it's got a lot of good reviews, from reputable people like Empire, reputable movie magazine, who's usually, pretty spot on with their movie reviews, and it seemed to get a lot of good reviews. But another film, I don't know, it seems there's a lot of people complained about this film, and I think it's unwarranted, really. I think they did a really good task of a movie that's not this style of movie's not really been done before, where they have villains united together, dangerous villains united together to fight a threat, which I think is really cool and sounds really interesting. Because much as I like it, we're used to the hero character, saving the world. But I think it was really refreshing to have, villains saving the world. When the threat is quite large and quite dangerous, we have to turn to villains to save the world. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And people like Will Smith and Margot Robbie give really great performances. And I'm a big fan of the Dark Knight trilogy. 3 of my favourite films of all time, and of course Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, his Joker performance is absolutely incredible. But with respect to Jared Leto, I thought he did a decent job. Probably not my favourite Joker ever, but it's a new type of Joker. I didn't think he was too bad, to be honest. I don't think it was as good as Heath Ledger personally, but it wasn't too bad. I thought it was okay, really. The only thing I didn't think this version of the Joker, I didn't like how he was kind of covered in tattoos. Literally his whole body, like from his neck and down when he appears shirtless, he's kind of covered in tattoos. And personally, to me, that's not really what I imagine the Joker to be like, because I'm a big Batman fan. When they released the pictures of him covered in tattoos, I was a bit unsure of that, to be honest. But that's only a small gripe, But like I say, very good movie, very enjoyable, and yeah, another good one to have on the collection. Okay, the next one is Secret Life of Pets. I did not see this movie at the cinema. I bought this on DVD a few weeks ago. I know, I'm way behind. I know it came out a while back, a little bit behind the hype, and yeah, I was really impressed with this movie. I didn't know what to expect. I heard quite good reviews from this, and I watched it and I was really impressed. First of all, this movie is really colourful. It's a big splash of colour. It looks fantastic. The voice casting is great, really funny. The characters and the script is really funny. The things like, for example, this little dude here is, he's sitting by the door all day from light till dark, waiting for his owner to come home. And bless him, he thinks he's doing such an important job. That was really, really cute and funny to watch. And there's some really touching moments as well. I didn't expect there to be quite as many touching. Well, there's one touching moment with this little dude here, this hairy dog here, which was really touching, and it explains a lot about his character. And we see that another character might have maybe judged him a little bit too early, not knowing his backstory, and that was really nice, and that really brings the characters together. I hope I've not given too much away there. I apologise if you've not seen Secret Life of Pets, but I might have said too much. But no, I really enjoy this movie. It's really great, and yeah, it's definitely worth having in the collection. Okay, another one, Tomorrowland, A World Beyond. Now this movie is a couple of years old, almost a couple of years old now. I saw this in the cinema in May 2015. I really enjoyed it. I really like this. This is another movie that it promised a lot. I don't know, the critics as they are, they weren't that impressed with this movie. Some of them thought it was good. I personally, I really enjoyed it. I went into this movie not knowing much about the film. I know George Clooney is a former boy genius who lives in seclusion. I know that our young female character, she's looking for Tomorrowland, seeing if it exists, with George Clooney helping her. And that was really good, you know, because to be honest, I wasn't sure as the movie progressed if Tomorrowland was real or not. And it did keep you guessing. There's a lot of interesting characters they meet along the way. So I really enjoyed that. The only gripe I probably have with this movie, I did feel the climax of the film, personally, I wanted it to go in another direction. But I'm not a film director, and that's what the directors chose for the climax of the movie, so fair enough. Personally, if I was the director, without giving too much away, I might have changed the ending of the movie a little bit. Things that were not true, I might have made true. I don't know. That's just, you know, personally what I would have thought to have done with the end of the movie. But all in all, you know, quite an impressive movie. And it's directed by Brad Bird, who directed The Incredibles. Really good director, and you can see the kind of quality in the filmmaking here. And yeah, great movie. Good to have in the collection. And I think I got this for £3 UK, so definitely worth it. That was a real bargain. Okay. Star Trek Beyond. Now, my Star Trek Beyond is in a unique cover. Mine is in, I think it was a Sainsbury's exclusive with an extra bonus disc. I couldn't see the regular version. I bought this, and then a week later, all I could see were regular versions. So I don't know if it was a limited edition. To be honest, I'm happy with this cover. It looks cool. But all the other covers in shops I've seen since are the other cover. So I don't know. But I'm impressed with this movie. With this layout, it's fine. You know, it's cool to have a bonus disc. Looking at the effects, there's a lot of, you know, deleted scenes. You know how they did the visual effects, and the visual effects are very impressive in the film. So that'll be good to watch. Talking about the movie is great. The Star Trek was kind of rebooted, the film series, in 2009. J.J. Abrams made Star Trek in 2009, which is fantastic. Star Trek Beyond in 2013, which is also great. Personally, I'm more of a Star Wars fan than a Star Trek. I know I grew up watching, I watched a special edition of the original trilogy of Star Wars movies and the prequels, of course, and you know, seen the fantastic Force Awakens a couple of years ago, and Rogue One last year. So I really enjoy the Star Wars universe and like the movies. I'm not that knowledgeable about Star Trek, to be honest. I know Captain Kirk, and I know Spock and characters like that, and the Klingons. So basically, from watching like the first J.J. Abrams movie in 2009, I was learning as I went along. You know, I was learning about these new characters and what they're like, and I really enjoyed it. It was great to kind of, and after watching the Star Trek movies, I've grown to really appreciate these characters. And this was another great movie. This is not directed by J.J. Abrams. He produces this. Justin Lin directs this, because J.J. Abrams was making Star Wars Episode 7. What a fantastic movie, by the way. And yeah, so this carries on from Star Trek Beyond, Star Trek Into Darkness, and yeah, it does a really good job. Sorry, before I may have said Star Trek and Star Trek Beyond. If I said that, I meant to say the first movie is Star Trek, second movie is Star Trek Into Darkness. This is Star Trek Beyond. Okay, see, I don't know the universe as well, but yeah, this is Star Trek Beyond. This is the third movie. This follows on from Star Trek Into Darkness. This is really great movie. You know, it's action packed, and there's an interesting villain in Idris Elba, and it really challenges the group of characters that we've learnt to like from the previous two movies. So this movie does get thumbs up from me, and really good. And I hope there's another Star Trek movie, Star Trek 4, because I'd definitely go and see it and enjoy it. And yeah, it's great to, you know, watch these movies. So there we go. The next movie we have is Captain America Civil War. I saw this in May last year. This movie is so good. I went to see it multiple times at the cinema. I think I maybe saw it 4 times, maybe 4 or 3. It seemed like a lot because I really enjoyed it. And this movie is great. It's one of those movies, it's basically, I can't find much fault with this movie. The acting is great. The special effects are fantastic. The pacing is brilliant. The action is just so good. So satisfying in this movie. It's just, I couldn't really find fault with it, and I think that's why I saw it, you know, so many times. And I definitely think it's one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's best movies, definitely, considering it has to follow on from, you know, great movies like The Avengers and movies like Ant-Man, which I really enjoyed, and the Iron Man movies. I think it does such a good job. I think the Captain America movies as well, you know, particularly Winter Soldier, which was fantastic. And yeah, this follows on and includes a lot of Marvel characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it seems at the moment that the Marvel Cinematic Universe can do no wrong. I want it to continue for as long as it can because I really enjoy watching these films. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 coming out this year, 2017, and of course we had Doctor Strange, and this came out last year from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And to be honest, I just want the run to continue because I really enjoy watching these movies. I really enjoy the quality of these movies, and yeah, let's hope hopefully they're onto a winning formula now, and hopefully, you know, the great movies continue, you know, because I enjoy going to watch these and buying these movies. So absolutely, all up for that. The next movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, follows on from the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really enjoyed this film. You know, I'm not comparing it to some of the other movies I've seen on there, which I think are rather exceptional. But as a fun movie, I really enjoyed this, and I to be honest, I quite enjoyed the first one. You know, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's going to win Oscars, but I watched this movie the other night, and I really enjoyed it. You know, I thought it was great fun, and you know, I think that the turtles look great, and I you know, begin to, you know, really enjoy and appreciate the, you know, the turtle characters they've created and how they look. You know, I think they do look really good, and I hope, you know, kids seem to love the movies. You know, that's why they made the second one based on the money that the first one took in, and this was great. And you know, it had the return of Shredder from the first movie, introduces Casey Jones, which is cool. I liked his character. I thought he was cool. You know, and it has Dr. Krang and also the two mutants, Bebop and Rocksteady, which you know, provided quite a bit of comic relief. You know, cracking jokes and things throughout the movie. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. You know, I'm not saying, oh my god, it's amazing, you must buy it, but you know, I'm a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I thought this was pretty entertaining. You know, if it stands in a room on its own of, you know, kind of entertaining, fun kids movies, I quite enjoyed this, and I'm glad it's in the collection, because you know, it's good to have both movies in the collection. So there we go. And then last but not least is Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Now, this movie I got in a shop for 99p. It was in a charity shop, so giving money to a good cause. I like to look for movies in there and, you know, donate the money to a good cause. And this was a 99p. Now, this is quite an old movie now, made in 2005, so it's almost 12, well, almost just over 11 years old now, almost 12 years old. And if you haven't seen this movie, this is one of the best movies, not just animated movies, but one of the best movies I think I've seen. I love this film. I cannot praise this film highly enough. It's made from stop motion clay animation, and you know, I love the Wallace and Gromit short films, and this was their first feature-length movie that came out in 2005, and it's just very, very good. It's just, the pacing is great, the animation looks fantastic, and you know, the characters are fantastic, and it's just brilliant. You know, on the back it says the most delightful animated feature ever. You know, I can't disagree with that. You know, it's just so fantastic. It's just brilliant. It's just funny. There's funny bits. There's a few scary bits. You know, there's a few sad bits as well. It's just a movie that has everything, and I just love the writing in this movie. The script. There's so many kind of little puns and kind of little jokes. And you kind of watch it once and you watch it again and you've noticed another pun or another joke. I just love movies like that where you can watch again and notice another joke. And I watched this movie, I think it was on TV over Christmas time, and there was a few jokes in there I'd never noticed before that were, you know, making me laugh so much. I was thinking, this is such a good movie where you can go back and watch it and notice different things, or things you may not have laughed at as much before. And you know, that's great when that happens. This is definitely worth having in the collection. Definitely. So yeah, that is the end. That is the end of the pile. That was my recent DVD purchases and Blu-ray purchases. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed me talking about the movies. I certainly enjoy talking about them. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.